everyone. Welcome to Heartwood this morning. Those of you at home, those present. I'm Dharma G. I'll be sitting in for the Venerables this morning and sharing a few words and some meditation. And first, I would like Sister to come and give the Sunday announcements.
All right, happy Sunday, dear Sangha. Just a few announcements. Our novena prayers, which we have here in our beautiful Vajra Hall, are occurring monthly every third Thursday between 5:45 and 6 p.m. That's when we'll be starting. We invite you to join us on our YouTube page. Please send your confidential prayer request for yourself or for your loved ones, including pets, who are sick, suffering misfortune, or departed. You can send those to prayer@heartwoodrefuge.org. Our Zoom retreats coming up really quickly are our April 15th to the 18th, Metabolizing Emotion, The Art of Being in Touch with Yourself with Nick Krantz. And also May 15th, also on Zoom, Letting Go in 4 Stages with Martine Batchelor. So go to our website in our retreats section for more information and to sign up for those. Venerable Panawati will be offering a study from a Mahayana discourse translated from Chinese to English on the Dharma relating to the question, what is cultivation? So that's been our last, I think, 3 or 4 weeks Friday session. It's going to continue to be held from 4 to 6:30. So you can look for a registration link on the Heartwood website. Donations and Donna, we thank you so much. You treat us so well here. We appreciate everything that you're able to offer all the time. And please, if you're interested in continuing to give or starting to give, you can go to our homepage and click on the giving option to see all the ways that you can continue to support us. And speaking of supporting us, yesterday was the grand opening of Thrifty Treasures, our wonderful store here in Hendersonville. It was an amazing day. So many people came out. The energy was great. People are happy to get great deals and also knowing that their money is going to supporting the community. So we couldn't be more than grateful for everyone who came and supported us, and even in the beginning. So thank you so much. We'll continue, obviously, to be open. So if you're in the area or you're coming to the area this summer, stop on by. But as far as how that relates to Donna, we also still need volunteers. So it'd be great if you could, if you're in the area and you're able to volunteer, we'd love for you to support us in that. You can go ahead and message us on our Facebook or Instagram page. So our Facebook, if you go to Facebook, just type in Thrifty Treasures. If you go to Instagram, it's Thrifty Treasures _WNC, but just reach out to us. Or, if you regularly email the Venerable, let her know that you might be interested, but we'd love to have you come and support us there. We're already open, but we can still always use that support. And as always, please like, follow, and share Heartwood on all your social media so that we may continue to share the Dharma. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for your participation and attendance. Today is a little bit of an ad hoc event because of some events related to the opening of the store and some things around the Heartwood community. But I'm glad to be here sharing with you. It's very refreshing to be here. I want to begin by just having just a few moments of meditation for us here in the hall and those of you who are listening at home, just to settle in. And I'm asking that you use your mindfulness of breathing and or your loving kindness meditation. We'll just take a few moments to do that. I'll begin with the sounding of the gong and end the meditation with the sounding of the gong. And then we'll have a few words of Dhamma to share. And perhaps we'll see how that goes and fill out the body of our meeting with some more meditation around the words that come up. So thank you for your participation. Let's take a few moments to rest with the breath, settling into a space of presence. And those things which come to mind, let's apply our loving kindness. With each breath sweeping the body, settling any unrest or distraction. Opening our heart, settling our heart. Sweeping from the head to toe, settling the mind. Thank you. Hope we've been able to settle into a place of calm attention. Something that has occurred to me often, I could probably describe it as an economy of words. Um, in our Dharma, or let's say for any of us who are maybe just beginning to dip our feet in a stream of consciousness or awakening, there really is there is only this true and all else is wrong. And this just describes the kind of looking that I want to speak about when I talk about the economy of words. In the Buddhist doctrine, we say there's no all this is true and nothing else is wrong. So at the outset, that changes the way we use and look at words. So things like always and never, perhaps they become sometimes and maybe, or often and usually. And we often say that Buddhism is not a religion, yet we still as people get the habit of hardening ideas around certain words and concepts. So what occurs to me often in my meditation and my life experience is that we do better when we can soften some of those edges and not cling so tightly to those ideas. Because in reality, words are just like little pictures. They're pictures of a stream of consciousness that arises momentarily and presents itself, and with it we gain certain perceptions and understandings, and then those words fade back into the stream of consciousness, and they only have meaning when we put them in context. Often I'll be impressed by something in nature. Let me give the example of seeing a very impressive mountain. So I'll pull out my iPhone and snap a picture, and I'll want to capture that moment very precisely in all its proportions, all its dimensions, and everything that had to speak to me in that moment. And then when I look at this photo in the iPhone, it's not quite as impressive as the present experience that I was trying to capture. The mountain is very large, it's very present, it's there, it's 4,000 feet high or whatever, but you look at the photo on the iPhone, it's kind of like, meh, maybe not quite, it didn't quite capture the dimension and proportion in the same way. And sometimes we are very, again, maybe not very, maybe not the right word, but let's just say often in our economy of words, we're very fast and loose about how we apply the words. So as a meditation, as we breathe and contemplate the Dharma we hear, or the communication we hear, or the relationship interaction we hear, or the editorial that goes through our mind so often, which sometimes seems continuous, I'll use the slogan that we often use, is that we don't have to believe all of our thoughts. But when the words arise, we can breathe into them and get a sensibility, gain a sensibility, the dimensionality, the influence, the possibilities of expression that lie within that word. Because really, we are trying to tune ourselves to the kind of consciousness that is being expressed, either by the stream of our own thinking, or what our partner or our friend or whoever we're interacting with in the moment is saying. And reflecting again on my own experience in my own meditative environment, I try to gain a sensibility of like a palpable sensation of how much at my energetic level, which I'm not talking about a mystical experience, I'm talking about something that's very tangible in our moment to moment mind body interaction, mind body sensation, that we can feel how much investment am I making to be sure that the words that I'm speaking or the way I'm hearing the words is true to the root of consciousness where the word came from to begin with. And that's, again, a little verbose. This is how we communicate. We use words to communicate with each other, but at some point it's very shallow. When we talk about Dharma, we talk about spiritual things or transcendent things, even the idea of transcendent, words start to become sometimes very temporal and imprecise. So it's more important at some level for us in our meditation experience to practice seeing and feeling with our body, to understand with our body, not just our mind, to get a palpable sensibility of how we're embodying those words. Words are, again, they're little snapshots of reality. They're little snapshots of the stream of consciousness. So, in a sense, there's some tangibility that escapes us sometimes. The Buddha explained very succinctly to one of his disciples that for the most part, we're caught, we're stuck, we get stuck in concepts of being and not being. In the spiritual community, we like to believe, or it should be part of our intention, let's explain it that way, that we're trying to be more about being than doing. That too is a concept that sort of polarizes our experience, because sometimes doing has a relevance in our momentary experience or in our world of intentions that we have. But there's this polarity, using the words of the Buddha, in the world that causes us to have a sense of being pulled from an idea of being to another idea of non-being. And there we use words that express our position in that polarity as we go along. But there's a middle way. There's a middle way. And so in the economy of words that I'm struggling to communicate in our talk this morning is to be true to ourselves and true to our experience, true to our Dharma, and true to our service to others as we measure that economy of words and observe our passion obsession or our aversion obsession as we use our words. Are we avoiding one concept of being to arrive at another concept of being? Are we truly balancing our energy as we speak, as we act, as we live and move and have our being in the little incarnations, the world we construct with our words? The world is made with words, and we step into that world. We follow our words and we believe our words, and the words become actions, and the actions become karma, and they solidify in their cause and effect relationship with ourselves and others, and how we interact with our environment. So I want us to see that as the landscape of meditation. We call it informal meditation, maybe. Sometimes we use this expression as we move through life, move through the world in the exterior environment. But importantly, I want to express, at the very least from my experience as a meditator and a spiritual practitioner for 20 plus years, in this expression of Dharma, that consciousness is about a palpable sensation. We can feel, we can understand with our body, and we can feel with our mind. And this is sort of expressed in the words of the Christian mystic Meister Eckhart, way back in the 12th century. He said, there's really no spiritual path. If there were a path, it would only be from the heart to the mind. And I'm paraphrasing. The path is really from the heart to the mind. And what is that distance, and how is it measurable? If such a thing existed as a hard object, it would only be 1/4 of an inch long. So there is no comprehensive spelling out of a Dharma this morning for me that is concise enough and all-encompassing enough that we can grasp it in the sense of knowing with our intellect. We can reflect on the Zen saying that we come with a beginner's mind. We come empty. Because there's nothing in the world that can be grasped. There's nothing that can be held or retained. The spiritual path is nothing. It's more a matter of a removal of obstacles rather than adding something to our being. We have the tools right here. And with our mindfulness of breathing, our satipatthana, sati, we can even introduce some new words into our vocabulary, our Buddhist vocabulary. We like to say that as we meditate, and there's a calming and there's a unity within the body that we can sense and be aware of in the vitality of the moment, we say that we calm down. We become, it's some samatha. We generally say that that's calm or serenity. Or there is insight, vipassana. We have sort of an epiphany, an awakening, a precision about our seeing, a depth of seeing, a change in our perception. So we say that the fruit of meditation is expressed by either or both of those things arising. When those things arise in us, that we understand that satipatthana, the understanding of feeling, perception, mental formation, awareness, all those things working together in our body, mind, experience. Let's call that composure. Let's use the word composure. And as we practice our whatever meditation we're practicing, there's a composure. There's an arrangement of elements. There's an arrangement of the parts and pieces of perception in an organized way, in a systematic way. And we can sense that. It's a palpable sensibility. Perhaps we feel it in our diaphragm, or some spiritual practices talk about chakras or levels of energetic experience. We can look at it that way, but let's just take it in the everyday sense of a palpable sensation within our body, an understanding in our body of the energy that's going into our words, the energy that's going into our thoughts. And all of those elements combined, there's a sense of composure in our meditation. When we arrive at that calm place, that centered place, whatever we want to call it, our sacred space within us, when we arrive at that, not like we're going anywhere, it's already there. But once we descend to our baseline consciousness, a place we can abide in, there's a sense of composure that everything has a place and everything is in its place. There's an economy in that. And resolution, we can say, maybe not just insight, but clarity. Like we say, perhaps a movie, for example, when they do videography or cinematography in a movie, they use a camera with a certain resolution. That is a precision of seeing, that the camera sees to a certain level of scientific, ocular, I don't know all the words for the mechanisms of photography and so forth, but you get what I'm saying, I hope, that the camera is capable of getting capturing such a precise image down to the finest pixel. And when you display it, when it's displayed on your television, you say this television is capable of displaying a certain resolution, a certain precision of vision. There may be a disparity between the movie you're watching and the precision of your television to capture the movie. So we adjust the screen, and then we have the black lines on the top and the bottom of the screen because the resolution isn't quite enough to express the whole picture. So it has to be reduced to what we can digest in the moment. Again, I'm reflecting on our meditation, or my meditation experience as we move through the arising of phenomenon and the peculiarity of being human, the sensibility of being human, and bringing together the unity of the body and mind. That's moment-to-moment causality. It's getting underneath the sense of attention, getting underneath the underlying propensities that we have. Where we get behind our thoughts and words, and sometimes we're pushing. But it's a process really of tuning. It's a process of there's momentary awareness, and then there's times where we're able to see the whole picture. But when we take little snapshots, again, the little snapshots are incarnations. Little words become incarnations. Expressions become incarnations. Sensibilities are little incarnations of the moment. Sometimes the word is very precise. If I say samatha or vipassana, I'm here in the Buddhist community. Oh yeah, we know what that is. I got that. being a person sort of has a language of its own. We must remember that being the person is also a conditioned phenomenon. It has specific conditionality. So let me just leave you with this. I may say this word incorrectly. I think it's pronounced mnemonic formula, that with contact there is feeling, and with feeling there's perception, and with perception there is intention. And in our meditation, when we have composure and resolution, we can see how that expands in the space of our awareness and get behind the expression and find a measurable way to appreciate. I want to use that word now. I want to appreciate the energy, the structure, the capacity, the nature, the essence and capacity of what is being expressed in consciousness by the words that are being spoken in the moment. And that relates to our loving kindness meditation. It relates to our satipatthana, just our daily mindfulness, and whatever else, whatever other practices, either within this tradition that we move in, or whether the listeners perhaps are in another tradition with another practice. But as a human, we have this as an inherent capability. So I just leave you with this thought, these thoughts on the economy of words. We have about 10 minutes left. And I would like for us to use whatever impressions that you received during the hearing of these words to return to that sensibility of composure or resolution. To be able to find a measurable, palpable sensation about what has been said, and use what we can moving forward as we practice in our daily life, daily experience, either both in the Dharma hall, on the cushion, or out in the lively experience that we face moment to moment. I'll sound the gong, and let's breathe with this practice for a few moments before we're dismissed. And then when we're done, I'll sound the gong again. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your attentiveness. Just as I am, with just my breath, my whole body sensation, appreciating. What's the nature? The essence, the capacity, behind the expressions, the descriptions, my mental photograph of the moment. Savoring the words, in the depth of my personal space. Is there a sense of being around the word? Is there a passion to avoid? Is there a passion to cling? Can I see my way through? With balance and equanimity? Or is that an idea? Am I creating a concept of being around even that? Do these words lead me to a place where that is being observed? Just a stream of awareness where I don't need to construct anything or cling to any thought. There's body element, mind element, space element. Just breathing. There's a cloud, a shape, form. It is perceived as it changes and fades. It is not I. It is not me. Embracing, yet not clinging. Just remaining on the horizon of intention. The sea, the sand, and then there's the sea in the sand and the sand and the sea. The shoreline of thought, the shoreline of attention, and the soft embrace. embrace of breathing in and letting go. Just being the formula of life itself. I cannot contain in the form of words, yet the expression of life arises as faith, hope, and love, nature, essence, and capacity. I embrace this without clinging, without avoiding, simply resting in the sea and the sky of presence. May I be well, safe, and happy with those I love. May I be well, safe, and happy with my community and share with their wealth, safety, well-being, and happiness. May their well-being and happiness spread to the stranger, the unloved. May we live in the palpable perception and embrace the energy of love and send it throughout our community. May all beings, animal, vegetable, mineral, prosper and be safe and well. healing, restoration, and reconciliation come to the inhabitants of the world. May we be vehicles for the expression of love and conscious living. Metta Karuna Mudita Upeka Metta Karuna Mudita Upeka Metta Karuna Mudita Upeka Metta Karuna Mudita Upeka. Thank you, friends. Thank you for your kindness and attention. Be well and safe. Be happy. And let's embody this Dharma today. Thank you.
Thank you.